When I come in to speak at a junior high or a high school, I have 3 different topics that I can speak on. The first is the student leadership message, which is generally geared for student government conferences or things like FBLA, DECA, FCCLA, 4-H, and FFA programs. The second topic that I speak on is an anti-bullying keynote, which is generally for the whole student body. The third topic is also a keynote for the whole student body, but it's more centered around college preparation and helping kids to get on path and on purpose and how they can have a future career that's worth living for. When I come in and speak to a teen audience, it's all about creating a connection with those kids. And I do that through entertainment, engagement, and educating them in a way that has a lasting impact that inspires the students to change their own lives.
So I've been an administrator for about the last 10 years, and I've seen a lot of assemblies. And from the moment that Clint walked out on stage, he had those kids in his hands, and they were with him the whole time.
It was rather impressive how engaged the kids were with Clint.
So the first presentation is a student leadership keynote, and that's all about helping the student to realize that there's a huge difference between being a successful student leader and a significant student leader. Because it's not about being the best in the school, it's about being the best for the school. And so I talk about how true leadership in reality is just a gratified word for service, and that with the title of a student leader, they have the coolest opportunity to not only just plan events or activities, but I talk about how they literally can change people's lives as they lead. I think probably one of the biggest things that student leadership audiences have loved so much, when I come in and speak, I kind of look like them. I'm a little younger, maybe a little bit more relatable, but also I come from a background of actually being a student leader myself. I've spent over 7 years in student leadership throughout junior high, high school, and college. I graduated from the Center for the Advancement of Leadership, which is one of the highest nationally ranked student leadership programs in the country. So having a background in the trenches of actually being a student leader, it totally allows me to speak from an area of experience that the kids can connect with. So when I come in to address school on the topic of bullying, the keynote presentation really just revolves around inspiring the students to believe in their peers and to help the students to focus on the strengths of others and not their limitations. The research actually shows that the most effective way that you can stop bullying within the educational environment is first with positivity, influential mentorship, and creating cultural unity. And so really the outcome of the message is helping a student body to unify, how to rise up against putting others down. It's about coming together and realizing the power that can come into their lives through believing in each other, not bullying each other. In the college and career preparation keynote, I emphasize what I like to call the decade of decisions, which is for the most part the ages of 15 to 25 years old, and that within that window of time, the choices and the decisions that they end up making will have a huge impact on who they become and what their future is going to look like. One of the biggest questions that school students are asked before they graduate is, what are you going to do when you grow up? Unfortunately, the studies show that only 20% of students in America have a clear direction and a plan on how to answer that question, that actually know what their life is going to look like post-high school. So that leaves us with 80% of most kids that just don't know what they want to do. So when I come in and speak, I speak about how they can live a life by design, not by default, and how to actually live a life that's worth living, and how to identify what the possibilities are. I deliver actionable and inspiring steps that they can take on how to figure that out, how to get their life on path and on purpose, but to also realize that the choices that they are making today really do open the door for tomorrow's opportunities. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for letting me be here.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh my gosh.